We are the DFPN. Always question the answers.
No Gimmicks Podcast, and we bring it to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, it's the time to move around. No Gimmicks Podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring, this is the time for the No Gimmicks, no, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind, state of mind? Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar, the F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit, what's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on, it's the time. Guarantee we move, you know how we respond. The state is line, the state design when we feel it. Moving down, what's the healing? No gimmicks is the feeling.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks Podcast here on the DFPN. You know what it is. It's Thursday night. We had a monumental event just happen. MPX Destiny. If you guys missed it, you actually can go watch it. It's on the MPX Twitch page. Please do yourselves a favor. Go over, watch this show. No matter your level of fandom, you will connect with this show. You will enjoy this show. Do yourself a favor. Go watch it. But we're here to talk about it. Myself, Matt Andrews, welcome back to the show, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. As always, good to talk some MPX action. I tell you, it's been a hell of a day, and it brings me a lot of joy to come back and talk MPX with you, man.
Absolutely, man. And we were talking about this before show. I said I have this as one of my events of the year. And this is wrestling wide. This show, the build up to this show, where we left off from the Texas Rumble, the build up to this show has been phenomenal, and it did not disappoint. You had bangers all around this card, man. And we actually did the pre-show that day, and a lot of what we talked about ended up happening. The one thing I want to start at is we have a brand new MPX champion.
Oh yeah, brand new, but also like, look, I said it on my page a little bit afterwards when you reposted that the clip from it. I'm not saying I would have predicted it, and I can't. I have so many issues with the man himself. But it's a lot coming out of the same playbook that I would have taken, right? It's a lot of the same problem, or a lot of the same tricks and a lot of the same strategies that I would have used if I were still in the ring and if I were still doing that. I cannot fault Demo Diamond for doing exactly what he did.
Can't, not at all, man. And I was saying the same thing. It's foolproof because of the route that he took to get there. Also, he took complete advantage. He took complete advantage of the moment. And let's go back to that particular match and the main event of that match and how it ended with Kari actually retaining the championship.
Sure.
But Exodus not taking this well.
Yeah, I don't quite know what to make of Exodus becoming that. I kind of made it my purpose. I talked about last week about taking the picture, right? And Exodus had put something on his page about taking the picture, making sure that he was never a big picture taking guy. And I kind of made a comment to him. I was like, look, man, I would be honored. I'd be so happy and proud to take a picture with you at every show I was at. So I saw him 3 nights in a row. But I got to tell you, when I saw him Sunday after Destiny, things had changed. And I don't know if they changed for the better or for the worse. Probably in his eyes, the better. But the man's frustrated. The man has seen so much just get ripped away from him in kind of unfair fashion. And going back to what you said about the buildup from the Rumble, we saw what happened at the Rumble and how Exodus really should have won that match. but it got
Hmm.
taken away from him. Then he had to claw and fight back to get to what he was. He had to stage a show takeover to be able to get himself into an opportunity to get to the main event of Destiny. So he's scratched and he clawed, and for that to be taken away from him again, just especially the way it was at the end of that main event, I don't know what's going through his mind.
The main question I have is why, and specifically why attack Kari the way that he did, and why go to, because he crossed the line. He absolutely crossed the line
Yeah.
that I'm not even sure that he wanted to cross. He did it anyway. But why attack Kari? Why go to those lengths? And then when Kari's girlfriend gets in the ring to try to shield him, why attack her?
So that,
She's coming
yeah.
in to protect him. Like, why are we doing that?
Right, and that's the one that gets me, right? I actually didn't find much of a fault with Exodus going after Kari right after Kari lost the championship. I get that. You're
Yeah, it's
frustrated. You
frustrating.
just
Yeah,
like he hit his move on demo and it was Kari that took him out of the ring and stole the pinfall essentially, right?
yeah,
So I get that. You know, you're frustrated. I understand. You get in the heat of the moment, you're going to town, you're mad. I completely understand that. But everything after that, everything after Demo won the championship and he got out of the ring, and for Exodus to go as far as he did with Kari, that's where I'm taking the exception. So
yeah.
that's a little bit crossing the line right there, I gotta say, especially since we don't know the status of Gabby and how she's doing and all that. So that's not good on that. Not good on that.
Yeah, my thoughts are with Kari and Gabby, and I don't know where Kari's head is. I haven't spoken to him
Mm-mm.
since Destiny. He's been pretty much off the radar since
Yeah,
Destiny. So I worry. I worry, and knowing their history, knowing that these guys were like brothers at one point, and
sure.
they came up together, but to see this specifically how far Exodus went, and then he put a post up saying like, this is what you wanted out of me, this is what you asked for. I don't see how going to those lengths is something that Kari, I'm sure Kari didn't ask for his girlfriend to get attacked.
No, absolutely not. I think maybe what Exodus was referring to is maybe some people had thought that Exodus might have lost his edge a little bit, and this is maybe his way of getting it back. But I don't think he needed to go quite nearly as
Yeah.
far as he did to get that back. I think he had made his point right after the match, attacking Kari again. I find no fault in that. I think that, I mean, I get it. You're frustrated, but to go as far as he did, I think that's definitely crossing the line.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely, and it's something that we do need to keep our eye on,
Yeah,
um, especially as we move forward into this weekend. A lot of stuff coming this weekend as a direct result of Destiny, but let's go back to Destiny for a moment too,
sure.
because that wasn't the only title that changed hands that night.
No, definitely. There's a
Uh,
lot of newsworthy stuff that night.
yeah, yeah. So we had the women's title change. Riza beating Shay Carmichael.
Right.
And
And
that's another thing. So set six, we talked about this in the buildup. Set six comes out of Destiny. They're holding both the men's title and the women's title,
sure.
and they look absolutely in control right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I know we drew a lot of comparisons to how Shay won the eliminator match and then beat Angela Armstrong the following
Yep.
week for that championship. And I know people will draw comparisons that this is the exact same way, but it really wasn't. Riza needed to take advantage of external sources to be able to win that championship. Um, Now I know Jamie had it coming to him, and I know Baby D was out there with good reason and all that, but I think there was a little bit of the inexperience of Shay, and I know Shay's gotten
Yeah.
around Texas for sure. She's established her name. She showed up on TNA. I get that, but I still think there was a little bit of that inexperience as the champion, especially in the world of MPX, right? Um,
Yeah.
MPX being a weekly show, and so all of these grudges, all of these problems that people have with each other carry over week to week. It's not like a show where, okay, somebody attacked me 1 month, and okay, by the time the next month rolls around, whatever, I can worry about it somewhere else. Week to week, those wounds are still fresh, those grudges are still fresh. And I think Shea took her eye off of the ball, and that's what ended up costing her the championship.
I agree with you. I agree, and having Riza in set 6 and having that kind of that extra protection, if you will,
Yeah.
It's a hard obstacle, and that's what I was saying in the pre-show. Preparing for Riza under normal circumstances is hard, but preparing her under these circumstances is that's a tough mountain to climb. It really
No,
is.
absolutely.
It really
Yeah, and I
is.
mean, it's a good thing that Baby D was there to kind of take Jamie Aller out of the picture. But again, part of that also ended up costing Shea the match.
Exactly. So, last thing from Destiny, and then let's look forward to
Sure.
this week. I mean, we had so much stuff. The tag titles change hands. We got new tag champions.
Right.
By the way, I love that. I love that the Sons of Mayhem are the new tag champions. I love it.
Yeah. I think that's a great win for them, especially having relatively recently just gotten back together, right?
Yeah.
Obviously an established team from before, and getting back together more recently. And let's talk about Red Chambers in that, right?
Yeah. Oh,
For him holding on as long as he did, 30 seconds of being caught in Gabe's prison lock while Tommy was bashing his head in, for him to hold on like that,
standing ovation.
absolutely very well
Standing
deserved.
ovation. Yes.
Yeah. A lot of good performances in that match, and let's talk about Langley too, right?
Yeah.
Here's this kid who's not really even yet old enough to drive, and he was very much a driving force in this match for sure.
Yep.
Kid's got it. He's going to take some time to get refined, but the kid's got it.
Showed a lot in this match. Everybody showcased a lot in this match. Honestly, I had that as my match of the night.
Yeah.
There was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot going on. What really got me is the Scorn. They won and they tried to leave the building. And then,
oh yeah. Yeah.
That got me. I was like, that's smart, but also you're not gonna get away with it. That was genius. The match itself, great stuff, man. Great stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And again, foresight goes to Sons of Mayhem, right? I mean, for them to have the idea that they saw the Scorn winning that, and then understood that they would probably try to take the easy way out, and went and intercepted them at the door. What a great call! What a great call on them. So again, very deserving to the Sons of Mayhem for being the tag team champs.
Awesome, and I did not see that coming, but their belief in themselves carried them over. That shocked me in a very pleasant way.
Right.
Very, very pleasant way. And last thing there before we move on, because he was involved in House Sagan. House Sagan is now they lost a member in red, but they gained a member.
Yeah, in Tatum.
Manning.
Yeah. Obviously not the result that Tatum wanted, but again, we talked about it in the pre-show. Maybe this is exactly the kind of break that Manning needs to be able to finally dismantle House Sagan. I don't know. I know Dave is probably light years ahead of all of this and has considered all possibilities because he's Dave Sagan and that's what he does. But you got to think that Tatum's mind is just scheming about what he can do to tear things down from within.
I can tell you in the immediate aftermath, he did not look like that was a part of the plan. It looked like, but again, this goes back to, and this is why I wore the shirt I wore, right? Which, by the way, Michael Schaefer, you stole my shirt. I need it. Need my shirt back. But that goes back to keeping your emotions in check, right? He had the match, decided to go get a steel chair, and it worked against him again.
Yeah.
And now he's in House Sagan.
And I think after all,
hopefully he does figure out. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, hopefully, like after all this is said and done, whatever happens with Manning and House Sagan, he kind of takes this as a lesson and comes out of this a little bit more I guess, matured or a little bit more knowledgeable on how to handle high tension, and high emotional situations like this.
Yeah, because he's gonna be in one for as long
Yeah,
as he's in there. So that is a high stress situation for him.
no
So
kidding. Kind of interested to see how all of that ends up turning out this weekend, right? With Sagan in action taking on Aaron Eagle, but who
yep.
knows? I don't know if Manning's in the building this weekend.
Who knows? And if Sagan's gonna be in there, I'm pretty sure he wants to debut his shiny new toy.
Yeah,
So
no kidding.
yeah, so let's move forward to this week and no rest for the wicked
Never any
this
rest.
Saturday. Yeah, and I aptly named. This is a great name for that. No rest for the wicked. You already mentioned that we got Sagan versus Aaron Eagle. Good to
Yeah,
see Aaron
MPX.
Eagle back.
Yeah, it is. It's always good to see the hero back, especially after his long sabbatical there, and kind of with a clear mindset of what he needs to
Yep,
be. This should be a phenomenal match, by the way. I know there's a lot of other like huge stories that are coming out of this, and we'll get to the main event, obviously. But there, this from a pure wrestling match standpoint, this should be a phenomenal match.
absolutely. I agree. And these two, they could steal the show. They could steal the entire show.
Yeah, definitely. Eagle with all of his expertise and his years and years of experience, and Sagan's not exactly an inexperienced guy either. These
Nope.
guys know their way around a ring and know what they can do to bring the best out of each other for sure.
Absolutely. And looking forward to that. And then we got a handicap match, and very, very conveniently,
Yeah.
Luther's back. He's taking on the Venom,
Yeah.
the Venium
Yeah.
in a handicap match.
Right. Yeah. Curious to see how annoyed Luther is. So here's something about me. I don't get sick. I don't. It's just something I'm very fortunate to not be ever
Hmm.
in a position to get sick. But I do know if something happens to me, if I get a trickle in my throat or if I get a stuffing, like it annoys the crap out of me. If I can't perform anything at more than at 100%, if I'm handicapped to any sort of degree, I get mad. And
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm expecting to see out of Luther. He had the opportunity to take on his rival, Brick Savage, last week, couldn't do it because of sickness taking him out. And I would be mad that I didn't get a chance to do that. So watch out, Divinium. I love him to death, but oh boy.
I'm almost hoping Brick shows up, but I know
Right.
I know it. My heart is like, all right, make this quick work, Luther. I know you can. I know
Yeah.
Divinium's not. There's no walkover, but also you can get this done. Bring on you and Brick. I
Right.
need it.
I would be very curious to see if Luther has any words for Savage coming out. Which, by the way, what a crazy match that was. For me, that was match of the night.
Oh,
Just to see
the last beast standing with them
yeah,
and Michael Schaefer.
yeah, just to
Yeah,
see the athletic prowess that both of those big men had, and just to see them wow the crowd and pull out all the stops to earn that title, last beast. Like that was great to see for me.
that was a crazy match.
Yeah.
That moonsault from Schaefer.
Oh, crazy. And he nailed it too. He
Crazy.
nailed it.
Yeah,
Like
he did.
bullseye.
Crazy. And
Yeah.
people forget because he's in house Sagan, but at one point he was calling himself the best big man. He probably still does.
Oh yeah.
He's a little more humble these days because he's in house Sagan. But at one point he was screaming he's the best big man of all of Texas. So
Yeah. And if he keeps it up like that, it wouldn't be difficult to see him go back up to those ranks again.
yeah, I agree. I agree. And then we got Tommy Becker taking on Julian Alirez.
I love this. I love the fact I love Julian. Julian's a great kid. He was a really good ref. I'm excited to see him do the stuff that he's doing in the ring. And I think there's no better opponent for him to sharpen his skills against than the Tommy Becker.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Great. That's a great matchup. Great matchup.
Hoping
Great test for him.
hoping everybody just kind of gets along, hoping there's no extracurricular activities, hoping there's no shenanigans, no nothing. And this is just a really good, straight up match that Julian can
I,
walk away learning a lot from, win or lose.
you know what? I wouldn't mind a little bit of fire.
Oh my gosh. Come on, man.
I would not mind it. Listen, if you want to make a mark, you have a big dog in the yard in Tommy Becker. Let's call him that. Former MPX champion, ran the gambit. He's tough as nails. I wouldn't not mind a little bit of fire out of Julian in this one.
Okay, well that's fair. If you're talking about like that kind of like determination, I was thinking you were hoping for some like outside interference or for
Oh no,
somebody
no,
to
no,
kind
no.
of lose it or something like that. And I'm like, come on, man, we've had
No,
a lot of that.
keep it fair and square, but you know, I like to see some fighting
Sure. I mean,
spirit
I'm
out
sure
of
he's
this.
got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
love
like
to
to see
see
it.
some kind of like I would love to see some kind of like friendly competition between Julian Alirez and Devin Anello, right? Since they
Yeah,
debuted as a tag team together, right?
yeah,
I'd love to see them try to one up each other with their opponents. So maybe it's Julian and Tommy this week, maybe it's Devin and Tommy next week, and we can see who comes out on top or whatever. And it just becomes a little bit of a friendly competition, maybe.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. We got some great matchups on this card, man. One I'm looking forward to, and somebody I was really impressed by at Destiny, Adam Green.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He came out of Destiny. I was really impressed by him in that match, and he's going up against Tommy Prince, who
Yeah.
always that man is just 100% go. I like it, so I
He
love this
is.
matchup.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's I think a lot of people tend to forget that Tommy is a very capable singles competitor in his own right, since he's always around the scoring and whatnot.
Yep.
Um, and I think people have forgotten. I mean, Tommy's damn near a Triple Crown champion, so like
Yeah. Yeah.
he's established in his own way, and I'm glad that this is a Prison Break qualifier. That just
Yep.
ups the stakes a little bit, and I'm very excited that Prison Break is coming back. I didn't get to call one last year. I didn't get to be an announcer for one, and so I'm very excited to see it
I'm
making its
glad to see this
return.
one come back too. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
who do you have in this match? It's a very evenly
That's
matched
why I said I
competition.
like this matchup because
Yeah,
I don't know. And the reason I don't know is because of what Adam Green did last week at
yeah,
Destiny. Like
yeah.
he really, for me, he leveled up last week. So it's interesting to see this matchup this week, and it's a qualifier.
Right. Yeah.
So
This could absolutely be a coin toss. I could make a strong argument for either gentleman to make their way into that Prison Break match. I'm excited to see it though.
yeah, me too. Second qualifier, Delin Cavens,
Yeah.
Carlos No Cap Diaz.
Yeah, again, another fantastic match. It's good to see Carlos
Yep.
Diaz back. I know he had to take a little bit of time off there for a little bit. But again, another good match where you could see either competitor coming out on top. We haven't seen Carlos since what? Since the triple threat at the Rumble with him and
Yeah.
Swan.
Yeah.
Yeah, him, Swan, and Phil Shark. So would love to see what Carlos brings to the table. I do kind of give the edge to Cavens just because he's got more of the momentum. He he's been active a little more recently than Diaz
Yeah.
has.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, this is going to be a good one. Both of these matches I can't pick anyone for. You just have to watch
Sure.
and see what happens.
Yeah, very excited for it. Looking forward to obviously the main event, which we've got to get to. So that the same match that Adam Green was in. Also, we ended up having Mikey B in, who had to come in kind of as a substitute for Paulie. Paulie
Yeah.
concussed himself 2 weeks
Weird.
ago.
Yeah, that's if I'm Paulie, I'm hurt.
Oh yeah,
I'm hurt because that could have been Paulie.
oh yeah, it absolutely could have. And for to see somebody like Mikey B take that spot and knowing the history that Paulie and Mikey B have, that's gotta just like burn him
Yeah, that's
so bad.
that's why I said if I'm Paulie, I'm hurt.
Yeah. But great opportunity here for Mikey B. We
Yep.
saw him beat Demo Diamond 2 weeks ago. And
There you
so
go.
there's your story right there, right? It
Yep.
kind of works with the women's matches too. Riza beating Shay and then winning the championship. Well, we had Shay beating Angela and winning the championship. Mikey B's beat Demo. Can Mikey B take the championship away from the new champ already?
Had us worried that the plan wasn't gonna work.
Oh yeah, but knowing Demo, there's always something up his sleeve, right?
Always,
He's been
always.
he's been oddly quiet this week. He's quoted that video clip of him coming out of the crowd to cash in the prospect championship like once, but he's been real quiet ever since Destiny, and that
You are. This is not like him.
nah,
Normally he would gloat the entire week, and you're right. He's been strangely quiet.
yeah, that just means he's planning something. And as hard as it is to get to the top, it's even harder to stay on top. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very interested to see what Demo comes up with in this match.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So let's go to our last announced match for the night. And this is a revenge getter right here. JoJo going after Caleb Riley.
That's right, JoJo and Caleb. JoJo, I feel like needs to find a little bit more of an identity, I think, this week. He's been lost ever since we lost Monty. Rest in peace, I think. And I think JoJo needs to find a little bit more of an identity. I don't know if that's what that tag team attempt was with Caleb a couple weeks ago, but I think JoJo stands a lot to gain in this match.
Yeah.
Um, but Caleb Riley has a lot to lose in this match as a prospective member of House Sagan. Um, Another guy trying to just find his way ever since losing the whole hero gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought we were going to have him as a member of House Sagan. I don't know if that's still leaving on the table.
I don't know, especially now with Tatum in the group.
Right.
Not sure what that does for Caleb Riley, but again, it just seems like Caleb needs to find a little bit of direction now. If he's going to go with Sagan, then if I'm Caleb, if I'm gonna commit to House Sagan, just do it. Just commit to House Sagan,
All the
right?
way. You're either all the way in
Lose the
or out.
goofiness, lose the trash talkiness, like don the Hawaiian shirt and just go under the tutelage, step into the sun. It looks like he wants to anyway, so
Just
I
do it.
don't know what the hang up is there. And JoJo, yeah, man, I wish JoJo could find his way, and I wish he could commit to a direction as well.
Yeah, man. But as always, we got to tune in Saturday. Get your tickets. 510 Harwood Road, Bedford, Texas.
That's
Go to
it.
Metroplex, MPXWrestling.com to get your
Yep, for
tickets.
tickets. Yep, make
Yep.
sure you get in early for that pre-show match. Don't know what's going to be the pre-show match, but those are usually it's a great bonus for people for a very low price to be able
Absolutely.
to get in there. So yeah,
Absolutely. And shout out to the sponsors, man. So shout out to Sauce, Tried Sauce, good stuff.
oh yeah,
Good
love
stuff.
Sauce. And
Yeah.
then Sauce, by the way, Sauce brought Mrs. Texas to Destiny. By the way, what a huge thing for MPX to have Mrs. Texas in the building this past Saturday in full dress and getup. That was
Yep.
what a get.
Yeah, man. They've been putting on. So shout out to them. Shout out to Time Rift Arcade too.
Yeah.
Quickly becoming my go-to spot
It's
to
awesome.
hang out.
Yeah,
So
love that, and love the fact that they extended their hours for spring break this week. I mean, that's just a smart business move for sure.
yeah.
Uh,
Good.
and shout out to Bondier Beauty Lounge. I know I have a certain former champ in MPX and champion of my life to take over there to get herself treated a little bit while she's out of action. So I'll be doing that at some point soon. And Calvin, I gotta say, hats off to you for continuing to follow the product, to continuing to endorse and push and give us a platform here on a podcast that is respectable and well listened to, and just really can't say enough great things about it for
Appreciate you.
you. So thank you.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. It's always a pleasure working. You guys have been nothing but good to No Gimmick. So I'm always gonna support you guys. You guys have given me a lot. So
Yeah. Love it.
I'll
very
always
much.
appreciate it. So
Sure, man.
but yeah, man. Anything else before we get out of here?
Don't think so, man. I think we got a standing date to do this again next week and figure
Yep.
out what happens from No Rest for the Wicked.
I'm pretty sure that what comes out of No Rest for the Wicked is going to be talked about.
Absolutely.
It's going to be something to talk about.
For sure.
But that's the show for tonight, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until
Absolutely.
next time, you guys be safe. Take care of each other. Enjoy what you're going to enjoy. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks, gimmicks.